The enthusiasm for football here on the East Coast always. These folks are ready as their guys get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Be a touchback as that sails over the end line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Block off of play action. Now he'll escape to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. It's a big play there for Seattle. For Drew Lock coming out of Missouri, the one thing that scouts they loved was his arm strength. And we see why there.
And what was amazing to me was the fact he was able to get as much on the ball as he did because he was on the run. Normally when you're on the move like that, you don't expect the ball to go that far. You would think you need your lower body to be involved. That was an all-arm throw.
That is caught inside the 5. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Carson going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Swings to 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
Carson will take the handoff out of the option play. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So crisis averted, but now facing 3rd and goal. They look to throw. It's Lock. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there. That nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Now to return, this is David Johnson. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Haskins and the Washington offense going to come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Here's 2nd and 10. A give running right, Gibson. Able to fight through one tackle. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it to slot receivers? But the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there. Showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Haskins. This will be caught at Samuel. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big play that time through the air. 39 yards. Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They max protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make sure the quarterback has time to deliver the football.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
So often you hear that pep talks don't really work in the heat of the battle, but collectively, this defense has to say to each other, we've been on our heels this whole first drive. This is where we need to dig in. And they got a nice stop right there for a loss on 1st and goal.
Gibson again. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
2nd and 7. Block now to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked out by the rookie first-rounder, Jamin Davis. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. And remember, this is the number 1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treated like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that'll make this a 6-point game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Throwing again on second down. Locke. He hits his target, Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
So they give up the completion there. But defensively, Charles, you're going up against a quarterback here who's had some moments, but really a lot of ups and downs in the early part of his career. What's the plan against a guy like this?
Well, you want to rattle him first and foremost. Bring some people at him, a couple extra guys in the pocket, see if he can handle it. The second thing, you want to make him think. Show him one look, go to another, disguise a few things, make him throw into what you call your defensive traps, and try and make some good plays on the ball and get a few takeaways.
Sliding out of the pocket. He's got his man. That's Josh Gordon. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Now it's Carson. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Locke. The quick slant caught. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They run it with Carson, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are now just an extra point away from moving out in front. Myers connects on the PAT, and with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it. Can't afford any more missteps, though.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
So, CD, you talk about this football team, some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely, but that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here, and then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet, what am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame that talked about retirement the last 6-7 years of their careers. So that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward.
And that will be incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw it is Locke. And Gordon's got it. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
Montez Sweat, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Locke.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off near the 42. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Well, you were backed up into a 2nd and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins.
Got a man, it's Gibson, complete.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. Escapes the defender. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Check 26. Check 26. Big gas. Big gas. Big gas. Show up.
A handoff for Gibson. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
Check Mike 27. Quit talking about it. I'm bringing it. Mike 27. Mike 27. Mike 27. Oh, you got D? Check Mike 27. Check Mike 27.
They'll run with Gibson.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And Washington has retaken the lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that'll make this a 6-point game. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Locke.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. On play action, Locke. Open man is Gordon, complete. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Now Locke. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
7 yards, the pickup there. 2nd down and 3.
Locke gonna throw. A little short pass. This is Everett.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
From the 44, Locke. A little short pass. This is Everett. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Here's Locke. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
When you run into slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear, but here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
They go play action with Haskins. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Gibson here running out of the gun. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Haskins. Got an open man, finds Gibson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with a Washington football team on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
That catch good for only a couple. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They go play action now. Haskins. And this one is incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Haskins to throw. Thomas brings it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love the
pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Haskins. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 32-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
54 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Antonio Gibson is an absolute dart with the ball in his hands, and he can make you miss and he can run over you. Took a little while to crack the starting lineup as a rookie, but boy, was he sensational when he did. Went for 115 yards and 3 scores in a Thanksgiving Day clobbering of the Dallas Cowboys. At Washington, they felt like they had a real find when they took him in the 3rd round last year, number 66 overall, and he justified their decision.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
At the 16-yard line.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. A give to Gibson running right. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Haskins will keep it on the sneak. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Here's Borden, and he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Nick Borden, his first touchdown on the year. And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Throwing on first down is Locke. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to one.
Locke now on first down. Got Gordon open, completes it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
7 yards, the pickup there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They find some open field here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
On first down, Locke dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
Locke now on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Josh Gordon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
Seahawks 21.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick. Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Gibson, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. From midfield now, Haskins. Incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Washington on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Haskins. He gets it to Thomas. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big connection on that one. 32 yards.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A 2-yard gain. It's 4th down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick here is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Shotgun snap to Locke. It's complete to Lockett. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Montez Sweat in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Locke. He sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
But it brings up 4th down.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Now Locke, gotta have this one. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Locke. He hits his target, Lockett. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Locke. He'll let this go for the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Boy, this crowd is on pins and needles now because anytime you see the ball heading for the end zone, you really hold your breath and they come out of their seats. That one falls incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Locke. Forced out to his left. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And, oh, that one's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Locke to throw. And this will go to Carson out wide. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Into the red zone, it's Locke. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. Second down. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So a victory here for the Washington football team.
And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter.